Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of Zero Yōnin. Here with Morgan, Svetlana, and the crew. Got Riku over to the side. Kyung is the Oyuban. She is also here, and we are vetting a very formidable individual, played by Daniel, who also played Danny. So he is the old Oyuban of the group here, and looks like this is him walking up right now. So let's get introduced with his character and see what becomes of it. Konnichiwa.
Ah, good evening, darling.
You must be Reginald.
I am indeed.
Would you like to come in?
Please.
Very well. Welcome to Triad Records.
What a warm welcome indeed.
Sunlight is a bit bright in here. Would you like to go back to the back room, Madam Oyuban?
That would be fine.
Very well.
It is very bright in here.
Please come with me.
Of course. Well, these accommodations are impressive.
Would you like to have a seat, or would you prefer to stand?
I can stand.
Very good. Mr. Leviticus, pleased to meet you. I'm Kyung-Soon Lee.
Ah, a pleasure to meet you as well, madam.
I didn't actually say it was a pleasure. Anyway,
Of course.
what brings you our way?
Where are my manners? I was told that there may be an opportunity for employment.
Indeed, we are looking for potential new hires. I've seen the paperwork. I'd like to hear it from you.
Oh,
Tell
very
me
well.
a bit
What is
about
it you wish
yourself.
about me?
Yes.
Ah, not much to tell. A regular old chap who likes to watch football on the weekends and drink on occasion.
Regular.
Regular?
Just a regular old chap. And by
Indeed.
football, I mean what we Americans call soccer.
Yes, of course.
Not quite what I was looking for in an answer. I'm not sure if you're being evasive or trying to play down your skills.
Well, if you're looking for a resume, I am afraid that most of my accolades are unknown to most.
Well, if you wish to work for me, you'll have to fill me in on all that.
Of course, should I work for you, I would be more than happy to share that information. I
Good.
am sure you understand, as I do, that the work we do and the types of work that we do cannot be openly discussed often unless there is a need for such.
True, but you are already aware of who I am. You know who
A
we
passing
represent,
interest.
correct?
I've heard rumors at most. You and your operation are very well guarded secrets, it seems.
Indeed. We are, I guess you could say we share that with you, that you don't want to tell us too much. We don't tell the world too much.
Seems that we can agree then that that is the best course of action. As mentioned, should I come under your employ, if you need to know anything, I'd be more than happy to divulge what I can.
What exactly are you wishing to do for us? It's going to be hard to figure out what kind of position you would fill if I don't know any skills.
Ah, well, madam, I am deeply honored by your consideration for this position, so I can understand your desire to know where I stand and what I can do. Fear not that I am most professional in my approach. It's something, this discretion is more of something to protect myself and yours, of course, from any sort of backlash should we not decide to work together. But let me be more clear on what I can do for you. I have a set of skills that allow me to operate outside of the normal means of law, and well, I think your organization operates in a similar fashion. If you were to ask me to do something, it would get done. There are, of course, just a few boundaries that I have.
And what are those?
Well, firstly, I would respectfully decline any assignments that would involve guard duty. My expertise lies in more specialized tasks, but I believe my skills are best utilized in operations requiring precision and strategic execution. Secondly, any deals or negotiations in which my presence would be required, I would insist on maintaining a position at a distance, preferably behind the scope of a high-powered rifle. This, of course, would ensure that I can provide the necessary oversight and support while remaining unobtrusive to the integrity of your operations. And my last principle, of course, would be, and this is most important, I have a strict policy against harming children. Regardless of the circumstance, I will not engage in any actions that jeopardize their safety. This is a non-negotiable aspect of my particular code. I trust you understand and can respect that stance.
For the most part, I can understand and respect that, but I can also imagine a circumstance where that might be a problem. But I have a very good imagination.
There are many things I can do for you, and many things I would be willing to do for you. In that regard, there is very little wiggle room for me. However, should you need me to do anything else, say, go to a woman's house, cut off her tongue, and present it to her husband, I would be more than happy to oblige.
What is your position with the law?
Well, I believed my last response would answer that, but honestly, truthfully, I and the law do not get along well. I have a rather pleasant experience with most of the officers here in this fine city, but the work I do is something that they would frown at should they know.
Well, you have been here since 2020, so.
Oh, I see someone's been doing a little bit of homework.
I see you only have one arrest.
Yes, I was going to
In
ask,
BCSO.
in terms of your interactions with the law, would you care to explain that?
My arrest, that was a small little incident with. I have a rather nice vehicle parked out front. Excuse me, out at your parking lot. It goes rather fast, and I enjoy going rather fast. So there was a bit of an issue with that. It wasn't much. I was able to get it cleared up and deal with it in court, but alas, that is why I was arrested here.
Morgan,
Yes, Miss Kyung.
do you have any questions for him?
Ah, so you're the illustrious Morgan.
Yes, I am Morgan Svetlana. I'm the psycho. Come on. What makes you tick?
Well,
You may interpret that in any method that you deem necessary.
of course. I would say that the thing that makes me tick the most is a good logger sitting in front of the telly watching the local football. If you want to know what makes me good at my job, it is my cold calculation and attention to detail.
Very good to know. I'll continue to think, Madam Uyabun, if you'd like to continue.
To follow along with her question, what motivates you?
Well, money, of course. But beyond money, I have personal interest in the culture that your organization represents. Not so much this one, though I'm sure it's somewhat related. Why exactly do you use the Triads as a backing company?
To confuse people.
Ah,
It obscures us to some degree.
the last place people would look. Makes sense.
I do have another
Chi-
question.
Chinese company in the hands of a Japanese owner. Most don't really expect it.
Riku, can you speak up, darling?
It's just saying that a Chinese corporation, named-based corporation in the hands of a Japanese owner. Most really are caught off guard by that.
Japanese. I thought your name was Kyung.
It is.
Are you Japanese?
Indeed, I'm not.
Ah,
That's something most people don't know. It's very keen of you to figure out.
So I'm surprised myself you were able to pick that up.
as I said, attention to detail.
Very good.
Look at me, Mr. Reginald.
Yes, madam.
You frequent locations like the airport here in town. Where do you travel?
Ah, indeed you have done your homework. Most of my travel is business related, but I also occasionally return home to visit family.
You usually go to the arena as well, correct?
I do, indeed. I seem to have found myself falling in love with the local sport here. They're not good, mind you. Would never stand up to, well, a team back home, but they are fun to watch.
Great. My favorite team to watch in football is always and forever be Chelsea.
Oh, a Chelsea lass. Well, no accounting for taste.
I'm not a gunner, so I have standards.
Wonderful.
And do you commonly go to Poison Bees down in Del Perro to purchase your expensive outfits?
Ah, yes, a relic of my old man. You see, he used to beat in me. That, not physically, of course, but he used to drill down that I must look the part, always. He put expensive suits on me from the time I was a child. So I've learned to love it.
Would you care to explain your presence and frequency at the Uwu Cafe then?
Ah, your knowledge of my movements is shockingly effective. Well, my personal trips to the Uwu Cafe aren't necessarily. Is this one of the fronts that I'm unaware of?
No, but I personally would like that to happen, though.
Oh, well, yes, of course. So I will respectfully decline too much information, as that is just a personal stop of mine. I enjoy their offerings.
Who are the Japanese women you tend to go to the Benders games with?
Have I been under surveillance this whole time?
You are
If
being
so, you
vetted,
are.
and I have vetted you.
Most effectively, I will admit.
It's important who stands in front of my Oyabun.
Is everyone this deeply scrutinized?
I think you're getting off easy.
Right.
To answer your question, yes. We do scrutinize everyone we bring in to make sure we're a good match for each other.
One bad apple can damage the tree.
All the whole bunch. True enough. Have you... I assume, since I'm standing here today, that you've at least vetted, or at least liked what you've seen so far.
Would like for you
I
to
have
answer the question in regards to who the Japanese women are that you go to the games with.
And to add upon to that, if you don't mind, Miss Morgan, I
Please.
would also like to know who a Hinata Kimura is.
Well, then you've answered both questions, it seems. Hinata is a woman that I frequently enjoy outings with. So, to answer your question, the woman I take to the games is Hinata. The reason I visit the cafe is because that's where she works. And there is not much more to that, other than that she is fun and exciting for me.
Not married, though.
No.
Very well. Thank you for answering.
As for your other exploits, what is it that has you frequenting the airport so often?
As mentioned, I have business trips I must go on, and I'll occasionally go home to visit family.
What sort of business?
The sort of business that I'm sure you all operate with as well, just
If you
more locally.
If you should work for us, would you be handling business elsewhere as well? Or just with us?
Well, that depends on your requirements. If I must exclusively work with you, then I could do so with the right terms.
So what I'm getting right now is, do you currently have commitments to another party?
No.
Commitments
you
of
seem
your
to
own
be-
doing, correct?
What was that?
Your commitments are of your own doing, correct?
Correct.
I think you said correct.
Now, these other commitments, is it with one particular party or multiple different parties that you work for?
Mm. As I said, madam, I would be more than happy to share my dealings should the need arise and I was under your employ. As a non-employee, I must respectfully decline to answer too far into that line of questioning.
I'm not trying to find out who you work for. Simply if you're more of a gun for hire, or if you show loyalty to one particular group.
I will be honest and say that, for the most part, I've been the former rather than the latter, but I have been looking for a more permanent solution.
If you were to be dishonest, would you summarize it in the same sentence structure as you just gave us with being honest?
Dishonesty is not my policy unless there's a need for it, such as working with the police or other agencies should they need to ask me questions. So, to answer your question, no, I would be dishonest in a way that was hopefully more elusive.
Very well. I have no further questions, Miss Kyung.
How long
Miss
have you
Reginald.
been?
Oh, apologize, Miss Kill.
How long have you been in this line of work?
Oh, well, professionally, I've been doing this for over 20 years. Less so, I've been doing it for most of my adult life.
I see. Go ahead, Riku.
Would this be the individual you were speaking of?
Ah, the individual you asked about, yes. Hinata. Quite a ridiculous imprint she makes on social media.
Surprising.
As I said, she is fun.
Do you want to tell me something about your Interpol history?
Interpol, well, that goes back a way. Are you looking for something specific?
No?
No, you're not looking for anything specific.
No. I know most everything that's there. And so did I.
Hmm. Well, I was a young man once and did a number of foolish things, such as petty theft, and I believe I was arrested once for expectorating.
How did that come to be? Didn't realize it would be illegal to spit in front of a truck.
Ah, yes, only on Tuesdays for some reason. Westminster has a lot of strange laws, and I unfortunately ran afoul of a specific officer who decided he wanted to find whatever he could, and this is what he found.
Hmm.
I used to go to blows often with the police. Now I've found that it is, especially as I grow older, a little bit more painful to do, so I try to approach these in different ways.
Well, I would give you courtesy in the fact that you're scrappy.
If necessary.
I appreciate your, I don't want to call it cagey behavior, but your reluctance to give up to information. That is very much like myself.
It's merely a professional courtesy.
And that is something I appreciate about you. Well, does anybody else have any other questions, or shall we take them for a tour?
I have none.
I believe it's time for a tour.
Well, then let's step out front. We'll go for a little ride.
Marvelous. Shall I lead?
Please.
Please.
I like him.
I do too. I did avoid the last question a little bit.
A little bit.
And I have some questions on this Hinata that I wish to have answered.
In the baller, please, Mr. Leviticus. So far, I'm impressed with you.
Well, that's wonderful to hear.
Hopefully that will remain once I find out more about your past. The stuff that you're holding back on.
As I mentioned, I assure you this is all professional courtesy. Nothing to withhold from you. Intentionally.
Understandable. This first stop is one of our offices we work out of. It's smaller
Rather
and
unassuming
less.
building.
Exactly. That is exactly the point of this.
Do you, Mr. Reginald?
Sorry? Oh. Rather impressive decor. I must say, I am enjoying. My apologies.
No, I was just saying it's just a quick stop here.
Yes, I was going to say that I am much enjoying that every stop we've made so far has included a bar. Not that I am a lush, but I do enjoy my drink.
It helps to ease tension sometimes. Be able to have
Absolutely.
a nice sake. What do you think of the drink?
Sake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as I meant previously, I spend some time with Miss Hinata, and she has introduced me to this one. Most pleasant when warmed, I've noticed.
Indeed. I would assume it's not your beverage of choice. What is your beverage of choice?
As mentioned, a good lager is what I would go for.
Unassuming. Not pretentious
Qu-
at all.
Quite.
Not a stout or porter kind of person, huh?
Not quite, no.
Beer so thick you can chew it. Very well.
We can move along to the next spot.
Perfect.
next location will be our port location. It's where we receive goods when it comes into state.
Oh God.
I don't believe this is a ideal location in this town.
Is it black and white?
Oh, do you have the police working for you as well?
No. This visit might be a short one. No interest in having a conversation with the law tonight.
With me, Mr. Reginald. Do us the honor of placing your feet upon the pallet.
Is this to test my resolve?
Should have seen that everything is a test.
Understood.
Tell me about your father.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Of course, tell me about your father.
My father was a right bastard. A man who...
Turn away from me and look at the water.
Oh. You wish for me to answer you while not looking? I can do this.
Thank you.
Of course. As mentioned, my father is a right bastard. He is a man who cared less for my upbringing than he did for his own gains. However, he, as I mentioned, taught me how to wear nice suits. And ultimately, I'm here today because he allowed me to grow with myself. Not much to tell about the man. He's lived an uninteresting life.
Uninteresting to your standards or his own?
Oh no, the man would be more than happy to say that he has an incredible life. Sitting around all day, every day. He works at a factory, making menial wage.
Do you ever send
some
him
that-
money? Send home money?
My apologies. Yes, of course. Support my family in multiple ways. One is visiting them regularly. Another is sending money home.
When you look out in front of you, soak it all in. What do you see?
As I gaze upon the pier here, I perceive the waves as a reflection of life's inherent duality.
Elaborate.
Yes, Yes, of course. The surface here is in constant motion. A dance, you could say, of energy and force. Each one of these waves is rising and falling, driven by unseen currents and the whims of the wind or the moon. They seem to clash with one another, churning, creating one should call it a symphony, perhaps, of this chaos and this power the water has. Yet beneath all this tumult lies an undercurrent, if you will, of profound calmness, tranquility.
Yet man has mastered the ability to tame the sea to provide opportunity, correct?
Tame is a strong word for what we do. Are we able to ride the beast? Yes. But it is still a beast.
Under her mercy, absolutely. Do you value the words that come out of your mouth?
As I said, I am not one to lie or be deceitful. I make my reputation on my word. If I tell you I will get something done, it will indeed be done. So yes, I put a lot of value on my words.
This family puts a lot of value into each other. Do you have any issues listening and taking command from a woman or someone in a position in the family higher than you?
No, as I mentioned, I do the odd job here and there for many different employers. I am, of course, looking for stability now, and if my employer is woman, man, or other, does not bother me.
Miss Kyung is the most powerful woman in the state. She will not only try to help you to make you bigger and better than you are upon your arrival, but expectations will be expected of you all along your journey. Are these things that you can accept?
Well, again, as previously mentioned, as long as we are in agreement with my own principles, of which I only have the 3 rules, I am more than happy to oblige.
And those have been noted, just so you are aware.
Of course.
I have very high expectations of my people, Mr. Leviticus.
I assure you, my work would not disappoint.
That is good to hear. Have you ever heard of the tradition, the ritual, Izbitsume?
Sorry to say I have not.
It's something that's fallen a little bit out of practice, but we have embraced. It is a form of making amends or atonement for one's own transgressions. And to that end, I have collected 2 pinky fingers.
Seems rather barbaric, but
It's
I
tradition.
can understand where this tradition comes from.
This forever reminder to that person that they have failed and been given another chance.
Ah, well, less barbaric than ending their life.
Exactly.
It all comes down to honor. Not only honoring yourself, but honoring the family to which embraces you in return.
Yes, I have been. Since meeting Hinata, I have become more accustomed and attuned to at least some of Japanese culture. I do like the concepts behind it all. The concept of honor, integrity, family.
What does she know of your work?
Oh, nothing. As I mentioned, she's fun. I am very careful if that is your concern. There are things that she knows and things that she does not know. For the most part, when it comes to my extracurricular activities, she is unaware and never will be. When it comes to my love of football and of the drink, it's something that she's much more familiar with.
Why are there no photos of you with her?
Exactly the reason I just specified. There are some limitations to our relationship, if you can call it that. I ensure that we don't have photos together. I have a history, as you no doubt are aware from your extensive research, that if I were to be seen with someone in certain places, it could raise questions.
See.
Hmm. Leads me to believe that should certain people see pictures of you and her together, there would be issues. Why is that?
Let us say that there are complications with my blood relatives when it comes to certain individuals. Her heritage would not be appreciated.
I see.
Who may those be?
Ah, are we going through family trees now?
If
I
it's
can
a
assure you it won't
potential
affect
risk
my
to
work.
the family welfare, then yes, we will go through your entire family tree and your connections.
Most definitely no risk to your welfare or my performance with you. Just talk around the table.
Some very, very interesting talk to be had around here.
Unfortunate talk, to be certain.
Turnarounds. If I were to put a gun to the Oyabun's head in this moment, what would your reaction be? Perfect.
Simple.
Next time, answer, point a gun at me again, and I will make sure that you never use the arm that held it.
Fair enough.
If Oyabun were to point a gun at my head, what would it be?
As the leader, I assume she has the right to make her decisions.
Would you trust them?
Would I trust you?
Would you trust the decision of the leader?
Of course.
No wavering?
I am not what you might assume as is a mindless grunt. So, if there was question, I would ask it.
Madam Oyabun, are you satisfied with those responses?
I am.
Mr. Riku, are you satisfied with his responses?
I am, yes. Though I do believe I will be looking further into your companion there, Mr. Leviticus.
If you need me to end my relationship with her, I'd be more than willing to do so. Should our employment continue.
Not necessarily. More just going to make sure that her relationship with you won't actually be
God,
a
I can't even hear.
problem with other individuals, I believe, of your family that you mentioned. If it would become a problem and a significant threat to the family, then either the relationship will be dealt with or your family.
Right.
I don't think it should come to that.
I should hope not.
Your relationship is none of our business so long as it stays out of our business. As soon as it becomes a problem, however it comes to us, then we will deal with it then.
Indeed.
As for now, I do wish to offer you employment with us, with terms to be decided in the near future, as far as if it needs to be a full-time obligation or part-time. That'll be something I'll have to discuss with my leadership team.
Marvelous. That is most gracious of you.
Generally speaking, if you're a part of us, you are a part of us. But I wish to do what's best for the family, as always. So we will discuss it, see what we find.
Yes, of course. As mentioned, I am looking for more permanent solutions, so if need be, I would be happy to work for one employer.
Very good. Let's get back to 727 and we can start paperwork.
Wonderful.
These aren't the entirety of our properties. The other ones will be revealed to you as need arises.
Of course. Miss Morgan, I am impressed with your resolve.
Are you now?
I pointed a loaded firearm at your head, and you didn't even blink.
Did not see the need to, with my family standing at my side.
Yes, as mentioned before, the next time you do that, there will be repercussions.
Yes, of course.
What kind of vehicle do you drive?
Are you familiar with sports cars?
Somewhat.
It's called the Zaruso.
Pretty fast.
Very fast, and often gets me
Arrested.
a jolt of energy as I drive. I've learned that I must control it around certain aspects, as obviously I've encountered the police. But once I'm able to get it out there and open it up, it is a sight to behold.
Do you find yourself an adrenaline junkie?
On occasion.
Is your car your only outlet for that?
My car is the primary outlet, yes. However, I do find there are other activities that I can partake in. Most notably, my relationship with Miss Sinata and
Oh my god.
well, I have quite a shocking collection of firearms.
Holy shit. Please do follow.
Of course.
I'll go up to my office.
Riku,
Yes.
there is no reason ever that a gentleman will be into a meeting with the Oyubun unfamiliar to them with a firearm ever again.
Of course.
It's a rather nice office.
Thank you, it serves me well. Now, this building is... It is a front for us. We manage a record company, and we have record deals, actual record deals with people. So if people come looking, that's all they'll see.
Do you have your phone on you? Reginald,
Yes, madam.
may I see it, please?
If you promise not to damage it, of course.
I will not damage it, I'm just going to scare it.
There you are, madam.
Thank you, I'll be right back.
Thank you.
I've just implemented a security suite upon your device. I assure you that I did not go through it in any way, shape, or form. All I did was put a bunch of security parameters on there, including voice.
Well, that's fine. You know more about me than I had anticipated anyway.
And that is only what I told you.
Of course.
You have to make it look legitimate. Should someone come and look at our records? Officially, you will work for...
Yes, of course. There we are.
Everything looks good. We will work on a contract for you that officially outlines what you would do outside of Triad Records. And I'll get back to you with that. In the
You would have a
meantime,
paper trail.
it's our own records, held securely, off-site.
Understood.
Well, if there's nothing further you need from us, I think our business for tonight has concluded.
Welcome to the family.
There is nothing more I require. Thank you for your offer of employment and your offer to join your family. I look forward to our business together.
As do I. Riku, would you mind escorting him out?
Of course.
Au revoir.
And on that note, I would also like to formally welcome you, and introduce myself. I am Riko Nira, Wakikashira of the family.
Ah. Good to meet you, sir. As I've said, Reginald Leviticus III. However, you, my friends, and you, of course, may call me Reggie, you may call me Levy, or you may call me my full name. I will answer to any.
Of course. Glad to hear that. You may prefer to me as either of my names as you see fit.
Wonderful.
After you.
Interesting individual.
Indeed.
I feel that
What do you
went very
think?
well. I do like him. It would be nice to test him to see what his merit is. In due time.
Indeed.
I do like that he was a bit standoffish, not to want to reveal too much pertinent information. I can respect that.
Me too. Some people are all too keen to
Provide.
yeah.
Being reserved shows strength. Especially in the company of us.
Exactly.
Especially you. Madam Oyabun, do you have any requests for me for the evening?
No. I think that should cover most things for tonight.
I need to go square away old business with other people relative to the situation with the Russian.
Actually, I do have a question for you.
Please.
What is your opinion on having him do contract work for us versus being part of us?
I don't understand how that would necessarily work. It basically is saying, hello, you're an outsider. I don't know if I could give it my blessing.
I'm not fully on board with the idea either.
Zero Yōnin does not need part-timers or people with special exceptions, in my opinion.
Well, I think there can be occasion for having a third party. But for him, I think having him fully in the fold would be best.
Great. As do I. We will definitely talk more with others. It would be good to have
Indeed.
Ichiro meet him.
You think so?
I do.
Just to see how he handles it?
Mm-hmm. I think there needs to be a series of tests associated to people that we bring in. Give them chores, things to do that occupy their skills. See how they act, they behave, they represent.
Yes. Well, we can discuss that more in the future.
Agreed. Do you have any other questions, Madam Oyabun?
No, that'll be it.
Very well. With honor.
Have a
Au
good
revoir.
evening.
Do be well. All right, that's gonna do this episode. That was fun. Fucking good to see Daniel back at it. Love the character. That should be pretty enjoyable stuff coming up. So, but anyway, thanks. I can't even talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for the support on the Zero Yōnin side of things, and we got plenty more coming. We're slow burns, so hopefully that's not boring for you. If it is, I apologize, but trust me, when we get shit going, shit's gonna get going. So you're not gonna want to miss that. But hey, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take great care, and later.